So with that being said, I'm going to advance. So the goals, really what I want and what Eric and I and the workshop team talked about when we said, why don't we do this, number one, on a Saturday, which we typically don't do. And number two, we're going to do hands-on. The goal for today was really to help you understand the elements of website creation in a very tactical way, not as a foundation as much as we usually cover. We would really like for you to be able to walk away knowing how to set up a very basic website in either Wix or Shopify, which means creating pages, creating your navigation, and then adding the basic elements of a page, which would be your photos, your images, text, anything else. And then specifically on Shopify, since we're separating the two into Wix more for services and information and Shopify more for products, we're going to go through payment, general, setup, etc. That being said, Wix can do all of that. I just find that Shopify is actually far easier for anybody who is selling a product. However, Wix can take payments and you can sell that way as well. So what we're hoping that you walk away with today, for those of you who don't have a website, or maybe you do and you're just looking to advance it, we want to just arm you with the knowledge to spend your time and resources right. As small business owners, you are limited in time, resources, and budget. So we just want to help you to know, these are the basics. This is what you could do yourself. And, oh, this is a little bit more advanced. You really want to be focusing on running your business, not being a website designer. But with the basics, we can at least get you up and running until you're ready to get to that next level. Okay, so for Shopify, I'm going to show you the same thing on Shopify. It's just a little bit different. There are different benefits to Shopify. Again, Wix, we love for services and putting up a very simple one-page, maybe two-page, three-page website that just has information about your site. Maybe you do some bookings. It's really great for services. Shopify is what we recommend to small businesses, just to get the easiest thing out of the box that works really, really well, has an ease of use if you are selling products. So let's see. So the reason why we love Shopify, and I saw a couple of comments in chat, if you're on Shopify, share with people if you love it or you don't love it. We have a number of really happy clients who love Shopify. And that's mostly because they've been on a WordPress before where they had to update their plugins. They got hacked. They had security issues. They didn't have a secure SSL certificate, meaning accepting payments was secure. So, you're going to get people who love it or don't love it. Ask the people who are actually using it. We love Shopify. So it's a one-stop shop, takes care of everything. So you really don't need to worry about updates, security. It's very scalable with your business. You can start on a very small Shopify, and then as you grow, you can move up to more of the enterprise versions. There are others out there like BigCommerce that we've used that, that are good as well, but really Shopify is the one that we're going to point people to. I know that Jessica last Thursday talked about that with CardSetter, where, you can hire somebody to handle all of this stuff for you. We're pointing people to Shopify when you actually want to kind of do it. You do a little bit yourself before you get to the point of hiring people. On time. Okay, good. So this is when you set up your test or your Shopify store. This is your back end. This is the engine that drives Shopify, similar to the way that we add on Wix. This is not the front facing, the front end design that customers see, but this is all important information that you've got to set up. So here, because we've recommended Shopify for those people who are selling products, on the left-hand side, again, you've got a whole bunch of things on a navigation. We're just going to point you to the first ones, and you can take your time looking through the others. But the first is, got to set up products to sell. So here, first up, what are you selling? And you can add your products. And it's going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. What's the title for your product? What's the description? Add a picture. What's the price? Do you want to track inventory? Where are you shipping from? etc. And then we're going to talk about search engine listings afterwards. So that's first is setting up your products. You can also set your products in collections. Let's say that you've got a bestseller collection, or you've got a collection of blankets versus pillows versus sheets. Or for dog grooming, I've got a collection of hair care products versus nail care products for my dog. So that's here under products. We're not going to talk through it, but orders is obviously where you would pick up your orders once you activated your store. And then I'm going to show you the online store and the actual design in a second. So that's the third place. And then the most important one to start with is here on the lower left where it says settings. And this is the area where you are going to set up all of the engine information about your company. Do you collect taxes? Do you meet the thresholds in certain states to collect taxes? If you do, then you're going to set up your taxes and your duties here for the United States or for certain states. What kind of payments do you accept? Are you going to accept Shopify payments, PayPal, Amazon Pay, Apple Wallet? So all of that here on payments. I had shown you on Wix, users and permissions. So do you have people that you want to add in here who might be a designer versus a developer versus a marketing person? And then any kind of languages you've got. And then here would be kind of branding information where we talked about setting, if you've got a brand and specific colors and fonts that represent your brand, that's where you would set it up. You also have shipping and delivery here. So you can, set up your, if it's UPS shipping or if it's any other kind of local pickup, etc. And then here, for those who asked about domains, we're going to cover it here, but here it's under settings and domains. You can either buy or connect an existing domain or buy a new domain here. This is my existing domain for the free trial, but let's say that I'm ready to launch my store and I want to connect it to one that I have on GoDaddy, annsdoggroomingri.com. I would just connect an existing domain here and walk through the prompts. So they really make it pretty easy. One question that we get over and over again is where it says here, buy a new domain, Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, you can buy your domains right on them. But we recommend actually you go to GoDaddy and you have your domain registered separately from where your website is hosted or designed. And the reason for that is it just makes it easier. Let's say you do Shopify now and next year you decide that BigCommerce has added a whole bunch of features and you want to switch. It's a lot easier to switch your domain through GoDaddy than to switch it through Shopify to BigCommerce. It can be done, absolutely. It's sending a transfer key and blah, 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 but it's really technical if you have to send it from Shopify to someone else. So it's far easier if you just reset it from your domain name provider like a GoDaddy or a Network Solutions. So that's to answer the question. I would not buy domains. Your primary domain, I would not buy through Shopify, Wix, Squarespace. I would buy it on GoDaddy and then connect to an existing domain when you are ready to launch your store. Okay. So now we talked about what we really wanted to go over was how to create your store before you connect the domain. The same thing that we talked about with Wix. We walked you through the difference that you're going to have products and you're going to have orders. Just, look at these two areas when you're ready to set all of that up. But we really wanted to talk about how to get your store design going. So here on the left-hand side, if you saw before, I clicked on online store. And in the online store, as a part of Shopify's package, they have what's called themes. And the default theme that it picked for me was Dawn. But as you see down here, there are free themes that I could choose. Let's say I don't like kind of this, with my name in the left and this hero image. I think it's too big. I actually want something that's a little bit more like this, or let's say a hero image with this. I like this with the text box. Again, it's easier to customize in Wix than it is in Shopify. So try to pick, a theme that you don't really need to change more than the images, the colors, and the text. So we're going to pick this because I like this, this theme. And I'm going to try the theme. It does not matter that it's for hair care. Okay, and I'm adding my theme, and just give me a minute. Okay, so this is not my current theme, the one that I just picked. The current theme is Dawn, but I can select once I'm ready to publish, but I want to customize it first. So I'm going to go in here and customize my theme. So this looks a little bit different than Wix. It's not as easy with drag and drop. It's a little bit more contained in what you can do with but you can still customize plenty of things. So there are built-in, the first thing that we're going to look at is in the theme, there are built-in template pages here. Here's my page for products. So from the top, I'm selecting, individual pages that were built in my theme. And I can customize each one of these by going up here to the top. And do you see how here on the left, these are all of the elements, which in Wix, we call them the sections or the strips. Here, it's, these are the different sections for my cart page. I'm going to go back to my home page because I want to edit my home page. And so over here are all of the elements on the page itself. So I've got an announcement bar up here. And if I wanted to change the announcement bar, I'm going to say 10% off this weekend. I could change the text alignment. I could change my color scheme, which we're not going to talk about in a second, but this is what's the default theme. So to change your colors, you would need to go here to theme settings to actually change your colors. So let's say I want to change my primary accent to pink. And I'm going to go back to this. That's my accent 1. Let's say I want it to be accent 2, which if I had gone back here, my accent 2 is blue. Let's make that a green. So I can change the colors of all of this. That's on the announcement bar. I've already got a header here. I can select an image for my logo to go on the header, which I actually don't have right now. I'm not going to show you the menu right now, but this is for this area. All of the elements that go into this header area. And then here on the slideshow, this is another section. Now let's say I actually don't want, there's this multi-column section down here. Let's say I don't want this. Do you see how it's just like with Wix? I selected the multi-column section and now the blue line is activating it. Let's say I actually don't want this multi-column selection. I can hide it. Do you see how it just went away? Or I can remove this section entirely. So let's say if I remove the section entirely, maybe I want something to go back in its place. Do you see down here at the bottom, I've got add section. So I can add a section and I could make that section, let's just say it's a featured collection, with a whole bunch of products. We haven't edited this yet, but this is just the section. It's the framework or the wireframe of this section. And now I'm going to drag and drop it, I'm going to drag and drop it up here underneath this box. So that's how you move things around. And you can add or delete individual sections. So let's go back up here and let's just say we've got this slideshow area. And I can show the selections every 5 seconds and the description. Let's say I'm going to change this first image, and I want the first image on my slideshow to be the dog grooming images, and I'm just picking anyone. And now the first image on this slideshow is this beautiful puppy. So now I'm going to select, and now that's the image for this area of my slideshow. And now the text in this area, I'm going to call it Grooming by Anne. And of course, it was all caps, but let's just say, oops. Grooming by Anne. Guillauming. Grooming. Okay, and then the heading size, I could make it small. I could make it large, and we could say, bring in your dog bring in your dog today. Sorry, I'm working on a difficult keyboard. So bring in your dog today. So that's what we had up in this section. Grooming by Anne, bring in your dog today. So now other sections, you do the same thing. So now if it was the second slide, on the slideshow, I could select a different image. I'm going to upload a different image, and I'm going to pick this one. And now it's an individual product on that slideshow. Of course, I picked a whole bunch of pictures off the internet, and this one you can see it's pixelated, which means it's too small. But I think you get the picture that you can drop an image in here that you want. Let's see if I've got another one that might be a little bit bigger. Yep. So that one's a little bit bigger. So now, let's go here. So slideshow 2. So that's how, just to work with the elements of a Shopify page. Again, you've got sections, just like you did in Wix. It's not as much drag and drop. It is drag and drop for the sections. It is not drag and drop for the photos or the text. So it's a little bit more constrained.